So, one of the biggest problems today that the governments of the world and people of the world are facing is the Go Green movement, where we are trying to move away from fossil fuels and things of the such to move towards more renewable forms of energy, such as hydroelectric and wind energy. And what if I told you that our best bet, albeit it's not very renewable, but it has a lot of energy potential and very, very safe and accessible, is none of those options, but is actually an option that we have tried before. Enter thorium reactors and the use of more nuclear energy. While thorium reactors specifically have not been tried yet, nuclear energy is something that we have used before and used for a substantial amount of time in respect to the history of the United States in general. And during that time, while there were a couple of disasters that occurred around the world, it was very, very useful, very effective, and just in general made it a lot easier. But what if I said that thorium reactors could solve a lot of the problems of previous nuclear reactors? So, thorium is the best nuclear material in general, and I should probably clarify that before I go into how thorium could be the just best energy creating material or process that we could have. So to start off, thorium is more abundant than any other nuclear resource that we have currently in the United States, and estimated the United States is tied for third in unmined amounts of thorium, meaning that we would not have to rely on any countries at all to be able to produce our own energy. Thorium is unable to cause a meltdown by itself due to it being what's called a fertile material instead of a fissile material, such as uranium and plutonium, which would be used in past nuclear reactors. A fertile material, instead of being able to generate energy on its own, needs a small amount of fissile material to cause the reaction itself. Generally, theoretically, it would be plutonium-239, which is a specific plutonium isotope, meaning the 239 is the specific name of the isotope. Fertile materials, once shut off from that small amount of fissile material, cannot generate energy on its own and becomes dormant, thus not allowing for a meltdown where, as long as we could isolate the small amount of plutonium, which by itself could not create much of an explosion whatsoever, or any negative side effects, you cut that off, the thorium immediately becomes harmless aside from the radiation that general radioactive elements give off. And then once thorium is used in the process energy-wise, theoretically, it will then be converted into a uranium isotope, which could then as well be used for nuclear energy, thus making it not non-renewable, but not renewable, where you use it and you can get energy creating materials back. It's a very weird situation that it can be in. So, my first point on why it's the better future energy option is because it creates more energy than a lot of green options, maybe not some, such as Hoover Dam, which is North America's third largest hydroelectric dam, but it's much more accessible. So if you look on here, an average wind farm will create 723.6 gigawatts per year, compared to a 1 megawatt solar farm, which I believe that is, I'm pretty sure that means that you put 1 megawatt of energy into it, it creates 1.46 gigawatts per year, which both are drastically smaller than a thorium reactor estimated value of 30,515,500 gigawatts per year, as well compared to Hoover Dam, which creates 35,040,000 gigawatts per year. And while Hoover Dam does create more energy than